and welcome back to the Woodland Airsoft channel. In today's video I got something a little different. I've never really done something like this, so the video style might be a little weird, a little wonky, but just bear with me. A while back I did an unboxing on the SSR63 and I said one of my biggest issues with it was that the wiring for the battery was up in here, which is like great and all, except for the fact that you always have to push out this pin, then you have to slide it off, and if you have anything like a mock suppressor, any barrel attachment, you'd have to take all that off just to get it off, and then you have to fit some battery in this area, and it's really tight, really cramped, and like sliding in and off, it was just miserable. So that got me thinking. My dad is an electrical engineer. I was like, hey Dad, is there any chance we could just take the gearbox apart and basically rewire it back to this big hollow stock back here? Because if you take these two pins out, well, screws, you can slide this whole stock out, and there's a big hollow cavity all through here. And so we were like, yeah, that seems super easy. For a while I had this mounted so I could put like a little box down here. I'm actually going to take this off just because it made it really bulky and heavier than it already is, because it's a huge rifle. So what we did is we rewired it back into here. We went through this little channel right up here and just rewired it there and then into here. So it's super simple. As long as you know how to solder, have someone who can. And then I'm going to show you just where the battery is right now. So instead of taking this whole front off here, you would just unscrew these two back screws right here and here, which are super easy to do. They're also really, they have larger heads, so they're not going to strip or anything. They're super easy to work with. And then you can just slide this off, and then there's your battery. It's not the prettiest. I mean, it's completely hidden. It's in the back here. You're never going to see it. But here's your wiring. There's plenty of space, and you can push that battery all the way down in there. You could fit a pretty long stick battery. You could even probably do a butterfly of some sort, and then you just slap this back on top. And there's a gap under here too, so you actually have a lot more room than you thought. And let's say you want a bigger battery. We talked about doing this. We didn't end up doing it because there's enough space for the battery I plan on using, but you could take these little channels out and you could cut holes in them in the center, make this even more hollow than it already is. Just watch where your screws need to come down, and yeah, you could make it a lot bigger. You could put a bigger battery in there. So what we're going to do with this video is I'm just going to cut just sort of like a montage of my dad kind of doing all the work here, because he's the one that knew what he was doing in terms of soldering and the wiring and all that, and I'll let you all enjoy the video. So without further ado, let's get to it. And what we want to do is drill a hole big enough for these wires, really. It should be plenty big enough. What we'll do is probably dribble it out, so we'll just start ourselves a hole. And the idea is this will be in there like that. And this battery will be laid in there
organ like this. So we're going to cut this back. So I probably need a hole from there to maybe about there-ish. Just make it a nice big slot. The problem is it's melting back together. Goodness gracious. That's smooth. The problem is it was starting to curve in already, so the side comes up and then steps out. We need to get it flat. These wires through here. Wires. Seriously. A bit of a magnet there. And this.
Yep, trigger.
Yep. Let's try to jiggle it. Alright, so that goes in like that. This is all I have. There's plenty of wire. Alright, let's try and get this gun somewhat back together. So we rerouted the wires back through this piece right here and into the stock cavity. We put a hole in the top here for where the cover sits, so the battery can now slide down into with the stock like that. We extended the wires so they would come back, and then this has plenty of room to just tuck in here like that. And then this cover can sit back on top like that. Now if you can make this quick disconnect so it just comes off, it'd be even better, but for now you just pull these out to disconnect your battery. Pull your battery out.
And with that, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I hope it was done in a way that you could maybe replicate this. In short, it's just you're going to cut some wires. You need extension wiring. We took it off an old AEG gearbox that we just weren't using anymore. You're going to use those wires, and like you saw in the video, you're going to just add it through, cut a little hole right through here and put it back in here. And then I don't even know if you need this back piece, if you need to cut it like we did with the bandsaw, but you can try without. We didn't even try without. And then yeah, just some sort of Dremel tool or a drill and make just a channel in there, and it's super simple. Yeah, that's really all I can say. This was really fun. It makes it way more usable. I just prefer guns that are rear wired and the batteries in the stock. It just makes more sense to me than trying to deal with all the hassle at the front, especially with filming and things where I have a lot of attachments on the front. It's just more work than it's needed. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Definitely something I've never done on the channel, something a little different, kind of a what the tech video. So yeah, tell me what you all think. Is this something you'd even bother doing? Am I just like being weird and I should just deal with the front wiring? Or is this something that you think, Noverage, hey, they should have done this to begin with? Because that's kind of the way I look at it. It's funny, my dad was saying as an engineer, he's like, at my job, he's like, I would have been fired if I did something like that, because it doesn't make any sense. It's way more work than it's needed, and you have all this space back here. Why wouldn't you wire it back here? It makes way more sense, and they could have done it really nice. They could have done 2 little pins here, or just some sort of like clamp, and you could just open this up, clamp it down, and there's tons of space back here. There's no reason. This could have been all fake. They didn't need to do this. It could all just be one big stock, and you could slide any size battery you want back there. So tag the Noverage team, tell them this is what we should be doing, and we'll take a 10% commission on this idea going forward. With that, like, comment, subscribe. Really appreciate you guys, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks, guys. Bye.